Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, I sat in Finance Committee yesterday as we discussed this important piece of legislation. And after hearing from RTD and the Scientific and Cultural Facilities District, it became even more important to me that we address this concern and that we address it now. I would like to speak specifically to the constituents and the Scientific and Cultural Facilities in House District 8 for a second. The facilities that we all utilize, love, and care about. The ones that are shining examples of who we are as Coloradans. Some of the ones that you might know and I'm sure have visited include the Denver Botanic Gardens, the Colorado Museum of Nature and Science, the Denver Zoo. A lot of ones that we also utilize, but folks might not realize, are also funded by SCFD, are places like the Lighthouse Writers Organization, Cleo Parker Robinson Dance, the Colorado Film Society, the Denver Urban Gardens, the Black Arts Festival, and even places that I had not visited yet but plan to, which include the Firefighters Museum and so many others. These cultural facilities are part of who we are as Colorado and make Denver and the rest of our state a place that people want to come, to visit, to bring their children and their families to enjoy the life that is ours. And I, for one, am very proud of these institutions. We heard yesterday from RTD. They stated very clearly that this problem, this inadvertent problem that we created is going to have an impact on 4,500 to 5,000 writers. Those are real people. Beyond just the millions of school children that are coming to our cultural facilities that will also be impacted by this mistake that we created, we will also have this impact on the senior citizen, the disabled person, the young person who is simply trying to get to school, because we are going to have that impact and those cuts on services and possibly even an increase in fares to those who already can't afford it. Members, I will say that while I've listened to the debates on both sides of the aisle, that there is one fact that I think we can all agree on, and that is that we are here today. Regardless of if we feel like we should be waiting until January or another time to address this issue, the governor has called us here today. We are sitting in our seats, we have our buttons at our fingertips, and we have the ability to fix our mistake today, right now. We have already cost the taxpayers dollars by being here today, and to not act because we don't feel like we should, we don't feel like it's the right time, is completely irresponsible. But beyond that, I have heard arguments that not only will we vote on it maybe next year, but not right now, that we agree that this was a mistake that we made, and yes, that we should fix it. I've also heard that we should actually take this to a vote of the people, that we should not make these decisions here in the legislature. And I will remind you once again, as one of my colleagues already pointed out, that we have already taken these issues to the vote of the people. The people have already voted to support these special districts. Let me just remind you, 1917 RTD was passed, 1995 RTD was passed, 1999 RTD was passed with a 65.6% vote, and 2004 RTD Referendum 4A was also passed. SCFD was passed first in 1988, then again in 1994. In 1995, it was passed. In 2004, it was passed. And just recently in 2016, the people of the Science and Cultural Facilities District voted once again for SCFD to remain active, alive, and to, yes, support those kids who just walked in the balcony to go to all of the cultural facilities that they so love, I'm sure. That was approved by a 62.9% vote. I also want to remind you that not only did we pass these ballot initiatives, that these ballot initiatives also cost the people of Colorado money. Just recently, SCFD had to pay almost $1 million simply to hold that election. So now, not only are we wasting taxpayer dollars by sitting here and saying we refuse to vote when we've already been called, we are also not allowing these districts to collect revenue because of a mistake that we made, again, costing money. But now we're asking them to go back to a vote of the people and cost the people more money? More money, while we are also cutting services to those who need it. That is irresponsible, members. We cannot do that. And finally, one of my favorite arguments is that there were simple fixes that simply weren't considered, that there were other ideas of how to address this issue. Members, I will remind you that we all have the ability to introduce legislation before this body. We all have the ability to debate and to amend pieces of legislation before this body. I did not see another proposal brought forward to this body, nor in committee did we hear a single amendment to the bill that was brought forward by our majority leader. Members, if you have a different solution to fix this problem that will not impact the 5,000 writers and the millions of kids who visit these facilities every day, and I did not mention the people who are in our hospitals in rural Colorado right now, then bring those ideas forward. I'm happy to have that conversation with you, and I want to have that conversation with you. But if you did not bring those ideas forward, you do not have the ability to stand up here and say, well, we have other ideas that were just simply not considered. Members, we are here today. We must do what's responsible. We must vote for this bill, and we must stop the bleeding that's already being incurred by our special districts. Thank you.